6,000 kilometers. It's been a couple of months now, and today I'm doing a road trip from the Western Cape to the Eastern Cape, more specifically from Cape Town to Makanda, and which is Grahamstown, and it's about 1,000 kilometers journey. And I wanted to put this out there because there isn't a lot of information that I could find on the XLT before I decided to buy the car. And this is the SIT, so the single turbo, and I wanted to just do something that for you guys who are looking to make a purchasing decision for the vehicle, and just give some information. So yeah, I just wanted to first chat about the differences between the old XLT and the new one, because I had the previous generation XLT exactly the same as this one. So I've basically upgraded. I had the 2.2 auto, and now this is the 2-liter SIT auto. And yeah, I think so. Yeah, obviously the dashboard is fantastic. I really enjoy the new setup. Ford's system is really great. Their in-house navigation system I find works very nicely, and specifically on this trip, when I was using Google Maps previously on my other one, on my old XLT with sync, oftentimes the signal would go and so your map wouldn't update or whatever. I find this map to be really intuitive. It works very nicely. It's nice and user friendly. The new screen interface is really nice. The nice big iPad, I really like enjoying it. I really enjoy using it, and having these touch buttons at the bottom here for your aircon controls are very nice and user friendly. They make a lot of sense. The wireless charging is a new feature. That's also very nice. I quite enjoy that. And then what they've done differently on this model is they've added these little cup holders that go on your side here. So you've got your traditional cup holders in the middle, which what typically happens is, you know, you end up putting your keys and your bits and pieces in this area, and then you don't have a place for your cup holder. So essentially there's 8 spaces for bottles and cups in the front, because you've got 2 in the doors, 2 in the middle, and then 2 on the corners. So that makes it very nice. And then sort of moving over to the screen in front, the way they've built it is very nice. I enjoy sort of the digital readout. I must say that it took me a little bit getting used to the speedo. I used to sort of have obviously with the old one, you have the traditional speedometer, and I got used to watching that speedometer and judging my speed. So getting used to this one took a little bit of getting used to from just a driving perspective. And then all the controls are pretty user friendly. I like that when you have the navigation set up, you can have your turns and your upcoming sort of events for the trip on your screen here, your smaller screen. So that's quite nice. So the layout's nice, and the other thing which they do, which is especially good on this journey where there's so many speed cameras, is you've got your speed zone here and you've got it here. So it at least tells you where you are and how fast you need to go while you're traveling. And then comparing the ride from the previous generation to this generation, I think the suspension on this car is softer than the previous vehicle, so it doesn't corner as well as the old one. It doesn't, not saying it corners badly. I feel like it could just corner a little quicker in my previous Bucky, but this one is it's still very stable. What this Bucky does a lot better than the previous one is it seems to handle high speeds a little nicer and a bit more comfortably. So if you happen to cruise a little quicker than normal, you find the Bucky goes quite well. Always obeying the speed limit, of course, but it seems to do better at those slightly higher speeds, especially when you're on these long straight roads where there isn't really much traffic. We're actually driving through Neisner at the moment, so it's a bit of a slow bumper to bumper type of bit, but we should open up soon. And then fuel economy, I must say, I was getting good numbers on my previous Bucky. I got about 9 liters per 100 on the previous one. This one on this trip, because I have admittedly been driving fast, I'm getting 9.6, but on my day-to-day driving the Bucky in city, I actually get 9.3 liters to 100. But as I said, I have been pushing the speed a little bit on this trip, faster than normal. So yeah, I think that's what's contributing to the speed and the fuel consumption. And then yeah, overall design is really nice. Obviously the LEDs out front are fantastic, and it's been fantastic owning the car. I haven't had any issues with the vehicle. It's still relatively new. I find the 2 liter SIT is sufficient in power. I haven't really been wanting. I think it definitely feels more powerful than the previous 2.2. I know there's some speculation out there. I saw an article where they speculated that this engine has better torque and power figures than what Ford actually quotes. I haven't taken the car to have it down yet, so I'm not sure about that, but I will at some stage, because I'd like to confirm what the power figures are. But otherwise, it's been fantastic. I really enjoyed owning the car. I'm going to probably add some more content a little bit later in this video when we get to the property we're going to. We're going to take it off-roading. I have taken this car to the dunes and taken it on sand, which has been, I must say, I was very impressed with the 4-wheel drive on beach sand. And then now I'm going to be taking it into some sort of clay mud type sand, and that's going to be an interesting experiment to see how the car does. It comes with the standard Wranglers that come with the car, so I haven't changed the tires or anything. Everything's completely standard on the car. The only thing I added was a bin at the back, the shutters. So that's the only thing that I've done, and I must say that is a nice nifty kit. And to comment on the fuel consumption, I am fully loaded for about 10 days worth of travel. I've got a lot of kit in the back that I'm taking up with me, so the car is fully loaded. I've pumped my tires to 2.6 in the front and 2.8 in the back, just for slight economy. So that's sort of my setup at the moment. And yeah, otherwise that car is fantastic. I really enjoy it. I think it was definitely worth the upgrade. It's very comfortable. I think the seats are, I would say, maybe 5% less comfortable than the previous generation. There's no adjustable lumbar support in this car like there was in the previous generation, and so that's the only gripe I have. Oh yes, and the other thing that I find is that on the other Bucky, it came with automatic pistons that held the bonnet up when you open the engine bay, whereas this doesn't. So that's the only thing that I found as a difference. Otherwise, the car's fantastic. Those little steps in the back are really good to get up and down with the Bucky. The easy down on the tailgate is very nice. Yeah, that's my review. That's what I think of the car. I think it's a fantastic buy, and I think it's great value for money. One thing I wanted to add is the lane keep assist and the emergency braking assist, or sorry, collision detection. So I have it set up on the collision detection to the max. So which I don't really use it. I've never really used it in practicality. Sometimes it does go off when you overtake, then you go right up behind a vehicle and then you come around. The system goes off because it thinks you're going to hit the car in front. But I like having it as a safety feature. And then the lane keep assist is quite nice. Some people I've heard that they say they don't like how it works because it seems to kind of like bounce in between lanes. But I don't think that's the objective of the system, sort of where you let go of the car and it drives on its own. What it does do, however, is it allows you to feel the lanes. It gives you actual feedback in the steering. So if I'm coming around a corner, it seems to hook in. So when I come around the corner, if I go up to the line, the car kind of hooks in and steers and holds the car, almost steers it around the corner. Not on the outside line, but on the inside line. It tends to do that, which I find quite interesting, which is quite nice. And obviously, when you're doing these long trips, if you can relax a little bit more, and you can see now if I sort of go towards the line on the right, it'll just ever so slightly push you back in. It doesn't work all of the time, so it's not something where you could just obviously not have your hands on and not focus. I do enjoy driving with it on, except for when I'm doing a lot of overtaking. So when I'm doing a lot of overtaking, I'll turn it off because if you try to go across the line, you get a lot of feedback on the steering wheel. It'll allow you to turn, but you just have to add more force and input in when you're turning. So that does make a difference. So I do tend to turn it off if I'm doing a lot of overtaking, but otherwise I leave it on. I quite enjoy having it. I enjoy the feature. I think it's a good feature. As I said, if I didn't enjoy it, I definitely would turn it off, but I do tend to leave it on, even on my day-to-day commutes. So yeah, that's my opinion on the feature. I know I've seen guys out there say a little bit differently, but I quite like it. Just another example that I wanted to highlight about the vehicle. So as you can see, the road in front of us is a typical dirt road with corrugations. And so one thing I noticed which is a massive difference from the old XLT to the new one, is the level of insulation from sound. So even though the tires now, the tire pressure is probably a little high for this road, I could soften it just a little bit to add some comfort. But I'm driving now at about 70 kilometers an hour, and the insulation in here is very good. The noise in here is good. The only rattling that you're hearing is my bottle, which is actually in the side door holder, and otherwise the quality of the ride is much more improved. What I've especially noticed is the difference in the shudder that you get from that body on frame as you had with the previous version. There's nothing that really tells you that this is a body on frame vehicle. Ford has done a very good job at making it feel exceptionally solid. That typical shudder that you used to get on the old one is absolutely gone. The car handles very well.